So she saves money on the dishwasher. This is what she did. I saw it in my own eye. This is,
Anyways, Fuji, sorry, Van. That's normal for you.
no, this one's Kiramasha.
We got Mark here. What's up, Mark? Mark, what do you think the plan is? You think Israel is going to attack Iran? Because now Trump gave him the green light that the deal doesn't happen with Iran. What do you think about that then? Mark?
Sorry, can you ask that one more time? I missed it.
I said Trump gave him a green light to Netanyahu. If the deal doesn't happen between Iran or America, that Israel can do the attack on Iran. Do you think it will actually do it?
Yeah, I do.
So it just wants to attack. That's what it is. Okay. It just needs a new front to keep the people busy.
No, I'm saying that, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that if he gives them the right to do it, and then Trump, I'm sorry, let me start again. I got distracted. Trump has been consistent, rightly or wrongly, that he doesn't like to be shown up or proven a liar when it comes to international diplomacy. So if he's given someone the right to do it, if a deal isn't made and the deal isn't made, then yeah, I expect that it will happen. And it might even be, orchestrated by Trump, to be honest, because Trump doesn't like to be shown up. So if he kind of gives an ultimatum and the ultimatum doesn't meet, then he does it. I mean, that's what happened with Maduro, right? That seemed like a pretty drastic maneuver by all accounts, but Trump thought so as well. We gave him an ultimatum, so he should have seen it coming. So I don't know what I'd be an for that message.
Do you believe in genocide? I don't think you believe in genocide, right? So do you believe in genocide of Hamas?
Really, I do. And I know it's not a very popular position in this room, but I think if you look at, pictures of what was considered an open-air prison, year that referred to a lot Palestine pre-October 7th, and you look at Palestine now and Gaza now, I would still argue the open-air prison was better than the situation where Gaza finds itself in now. And I would imagine that the difference there can be attributed directly to the Hamas attacks. So.
Hold on, though. Are you saying there is a genocide or there is not a genocide?
I'm not even commenting on it. I'm just looking at the photos. Look at the photos of Gaza on October 5th. Gaza on October 8th.
Yeah. Is there a genocide in your opinion or not?
No, I don't think there is. But that's not neither here or there. It's just a question of photographic.
It is here nor there. Like, we can't just be kind of numb to genocide. It's the year 2026. It's not the 1500s.
I understand, but I think, let's put it this way, if you take the position that Israel took, which obviously you're more than free and willing to disagree with, but they made it pretty clear that they targeted Hamas and the Gaza people in the aftermath, they would probably still argue that that is what has happened. Now, you are free to disagree with that, of course, but I think that going back to the earlier discussion about, no one could have calculated for genocide, which was a long conversation that happened about an hour ago. I don't think that was in Israel's mindset either. I don't think Israel's mindset was genocide. Israel's mindset was self-defense. So when you're doing your risk analysis, self-defense, I think, is something you can anticipate. Whether it stretches into something like genocide, which I know is a Palestinian approach. I mean, obviously, if Israel thought it was genocide, then yeah, maybe it's a difficult thing to analyze, but they don't. So because they don't think it's genocide, then it should have been factored into the risk analysis that a targeted attack on Gaza would take place. And
you said something earlier in your sentence, which I'm going to challenge you on. You said, Israel made it clear that it was an attack on Hamas. Why am I able to pull up so many quotes from senior Israeli officials, including the president, that actually imply there's things like no animal population is guilty, like they're comfortable with denying food, electricity, and water. Why are there various reports directly from Israeli officials saying that one of the ideas is to make Gaza uninhabitable so that the Palestinians don't return? Why was there public support by Netanyahu at one point to actually remove and relocate 2 million Gazans? So that's really unclear, actually, that it's about Hamas. It seems like it's by Israel's own admission, it's about more than Hamas. How do I reconcile all of this in my head, and how do you reconcile that in your head?
I reconcile it pretty easily. I think that were they moving those people prior to October 7th? No. Were they moving it after October 7th? Yes. What happened on that day? Hamas came in and frankly did a lot of it. The Palestinians, a lot of them didn't know about this. So I don't understand why there's, like, I've mentioned this in this room before, I don't understand why there's not a gigantic swathe of people within Palestine who are irate and pissed because, frankly, if this hadn't happened unilaterally by Hamas, their lives would be a lot better. So that's something that's confused me. But to reconcile it is pretty simple. If those things were happening on October 5th, and they were not mentioned as a direct response to what happened on October 7th.
Najes. Better be careful, Najes. You're going to get picked up by the FBI, Najes. You're going to get arrested. Got to be on the right side of history, Najes. Got to be on the side of good. Dr. Good now. Got to fight Dr. Bad. Dr. Good's got to win against Dr. Bad. We can't let Dr. Bad get away with this shit. What do you mean, why am I streaming? I'm sending it to Cash Patel and Pam Bondi, of course. Because they really care about this shit, obviously. Bull Rush.
It's interesting, like, how rooms have completely different political views. Like, this, and different loyalties, I guess.
Well, you know, listen, if Power Rush, Bull Rush,
Did you see that? Am I the only one who's seen that?
What?
Like the loyalties is complete. Like rooms will differ politically, and it's interesting you're streaming this one because you'll find another room just bang opposite this that holds a completely different view to this, although the events are the same.
Well, have you seen the videos from October 7th and all the innocent people who were killed and all the injured people?
Yeah.
It's so bad that, like, I saw a video of a girl who had, like, shrapnel all through her legs, and she was, like, holed up in, like, a building, and they were just all in shock, and they knew that, like, at any moment listen, holy shit, you just can't believe. When you see all these dead bodies all around the place, you're like, I just can't believe this is real. Like, what are we doing? But the thing is, like, these are pirates. The people that did October 7th are nothing more than pirates. And, you know, governments have been waging wars against pirates forever. It's like cops and robbers. But, you know, I would fight an Islamic jihadist, you know, to the death to stay alive. If they're coming to kill me for political reasons, like they did on October 7th at Supernova, like those innocent people were partying to try to get peace. And then they were all slaughtered by the people that they were trying to, like, you know, get peace with. How fucked up is that?
That's what I'm saying. And then you'll have a view that will not support yours, and another that will not support either or. Like, trying to see how subjective, like, politics is.
Well, I think the good thing about being an American is like we are like the big third party. We're the huge elephant. And these are just like parasites fighting each other and sucking off of us. And the truth is, like, we kind of get to say what happens. And because it doesn't matter which side of the fences you are over there, like, they're extremely aggressive. Everybody is. Like, they, you know, they're polarized. And It's just crazy. Regal, welcome to Call the FBI in Los Angeles and report Amir the terrorist. How are you doing? And Nora, welcome to the room. Nora wants to run away quickly.
Yeah, thanks. Nothing but gumdrops and ice cream here. How are you?
Gumdrops?
Order moderation, moderator, point of order, moderator.
Yeah, moderator, point of order, moderator. I'm good. I'm about to hop in a hot bath. I wanted to read some poetry, because most people, like Narcissus, do you think you have mental health problems?
Oh, yeah, I think sometimes I spiral down, but I come up quick.
Well, it's not.
I have no choice.
Meaning, like,
I spiral down every now and then, like just analyzing life and shit like that, and then I'll bounce back quick. I have no choice. I have to bounce back up.
Well, I mean, I was outside in nature today in the sun and jogging and
exactly.
grounding myself, and like
I go for long walks and I just meet my friends. I go out. I bounce back pretty quickly. I don't like the feeling of feeling down at all.
Yeah, I haven't felt depressed in quite a while. I mean, it's liberating to say what you think and feel what you say. And when I just hear people wasting all their time, especially the crash outs, like if you listen to Amir screaming, like to me, that's like crazy. That's like actually what crazy people do is they scream and scream and scream and scream and get angry and angry and angrier and angrier. And it's like, to what end? Like, do you have any idea how, like, why are you treating your body like that? To me, that's like, unless you're doing it for performative reasons.
I think it's performative. I think a lot of stuff on Clubhouse is just performative. And it does come from, like, that too is mental health issue that people have, I think, the need to perform in order to be heard. Or just theatrics. It's pageantry.
Yeah, but you've heard me read from books, like that's performative. But when people are sitting here under fake identities in unrecorded rooms creating essentially like Jew hate content to like hate the Jews and not be specific, but do generalizations and bigotry stereotypes and not be a part of an actual peace movement, like play some drums and like let's sing a song or meditate or read something, but stop creating hornets nests that get kicked over. Like that's what they're doing. They're not building anything beautiful or peaceful. So, that's why I say, like, call the FBI and report Amir the terrorist in Los Angeles who runs his car rental business and have him just, arrested and locked up and put into jail for maybe 10 years to chill out.
He doesn't have the right
just to relax.
Views. Are you saying, like, he doesn't have the right to express his views or to, like, pick a political side?
Sure.
Is that what you're saying?
Sure, but I've got the right to report him to the FBI. It's my right as an American. No, it is. That's my freedom of speech. If I think
anything, right? Like,
see, this is political. This is political. He wants to play politics, and I'll play politics the way I want to play politics. He can't police me by listen. He has kicked me from so many rooms. He won't give me freedom of speech. So I'll just record him and report him to the FBI, and I'll be done with it. Like, it's not going to stress me out. It should stress him out. And look at Judy here. Judy
Judy, that like Buttercup's rooms are not Jew hating, right? Like, I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Well, see, Narja, well, it doesn't matter what I think because all I want to do is record, set it, and forget it, and let other people decide. I don't want to see. This is the problem, Narja. I don't even want to entertain questions. Do you know that? Like, I don't want to be a part of this social network. I just want to record it and let the world decide and let lawyers decide and let FBI analysts decide. I can't make any decisions. I'm just a citizen recording what I consider to be extremely problematic conversations because you are witnessing in real time people create nonstop hate speech. This is not nonstop peace speech and nonstop meditation or music. It's just nonstop political hate speech. That's what it is. So I've reported Amir to the Los Angeles FBI field department, and they're going to go investigate him and check out all his cars and run his taxes and see if he's been paying his taxes and check out his immigration. And if there's any problems, Kash Patel, our Hindu, Dindu FBI director, is going to fly to Los Angeles and just arrest Amir. And then he's going to be on Clubhouse. And he's like, hold on a minute, guys. I got a fucking door. Knock at my fucking door. He's going to go to the front door and they're going to be like, FBI, open up. Hands in the air where we can see him. And Amir's going to be like, oh my God, that fucking John Kitover. He fucking called the FBI on me and they're at my fucking door. And Clubhouse, save me. That's what that will be Amir's last words on Clubhouse. Will be Clubhouse members, save me. If you're part of the World Affairs Forum, and you're interested in modern day political conversations and debates. Anyways, this is my comedy and my response, Narj. See, the thing is, you think I'm over the top, but I'm not. I'm literally mirroring. I'm a mirror. You know me well. Like, if people want to be aggressive and psychotic with me, well, I'll be aggressive and psychotic with you, and we'll see how far it goes in the ether. Like, you can't push me around on my cell phones, but I can record you. And if you're willing to come in a public space and be recorded, because they're in the audience in the Anon recording you and reporting you, it's not a John Kitover problem. That's a you problem. Hello?
So, like, today was interesting, like, in her room, you see, like, someone pointed out something, like, in great hyperbole, right, that this genocide is far more intense than some other genocide, for example. And then, like, he created that shock value. And then someone who opposed him said, well, this is not good for the benefit of, like, the collective. What you're doing here is, like, you're promoting some kind of hate that keeps, like, standing or making a dam in front of, like, success. Like, there's no progress here, another said. So, and both these people hold the same political view, but their approaches towards, like, success were different. One wanted to continue with the hate, the other wanted to sort of see progress from here. So you'll also find that in, like, political room setups, I think. So it's so varied. It's so varied. It's so expansive. The spectrum is so wide. How, like, politics can be perceived, like, on this app at least.
I don't know. Narj, when these people start reading books to me, then I'll know everything is okay. Until then, I hate to tell you, like, that's what's up. You are hearing people project their homicidal and psychotic ideation on this app all the time. They're not reading books. Read me a book about intelligence, love, and peace, and then we'll have something to talk about. Otherwise, I'm going to arm myself. I'm going to record you. I'm going to report you, and I'm going to fight you because I don't think you have my best interests in heart because you don't even read to me peace. All you do, not you in particular, people on this app, like, this is a political game, and this is how I play it. Hello? So Narja's, when do you think a baby do you, like, for pro-life, like, when a baby is born, is it when the baby takes its first breath? Is it like 6 months into the pregnancy, 3 months into the pregnancy? When is a baby alive and a human? And when you kill it in an abortion, when is it like murder versus when is it, medical?
I think it's through the 4th month, third, end of third, beginning of 4th. John, it pretty much communicates with you. Seeing this as a mother. So it's an aliveness within you. Now, is it my freaking placebo mind that is perceiving it as such, or does the child have, is that a real child with a life growing, etc.? I think it could be both. But for me, personally, subjectively, I'd say like 3 to 4 months. It's basically commencing.
Yeah.
It's life on Earth. Yeah.
Well, that's a reasonable answer, but I mean, see, the thing about specifics is 3 to 4 months. Like, is what about when you're? See, this is like the difference between a C plus and a B minus. Like if you're at 2 months and 25 days and you're almost 5 days to that 3 months, well, you're so close, Narges. So that's my point is it's really all or nothing when it comes to deciding to decapitate, whether it's 2 months or 4 months or 6 months. There's no significant difference. So my complaint about Palestine and the war is if you're going to scream about babies and genocide and occupation nonstop, but you're a pro-abortionist, well, then you already endorse murder and killing, but you endorse it medically. You don't endorse it politically. So my point is, Narges, is there's just a lot of stupid people on here that haven't figured out poetry and music and depoliticization by being political, by being poetic. So there's just a lot of fucking people here are trying to make it into a career. And, that's what it is. But it's not really artistic enough, in my opinion. And therefore, they will never succeed in what they're doing. And it's more of a mental health crisis and a lack of creativity, which is what people are suffering from here. You could call it boredom.
You're forgetting the variables. You're forgetting the particular variables. I think those grays, too, must be considered. Like nuances within it.
People like to use the word nuance all the time.
Raped, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, John, someone who gets raped, for example, or an oops baby, right? Where like a couple has just not taken care enough. After a drunk party, you get jiggy with it, blah blah. I mean, that is harmful to the child in some ways. So I can see why, like, a woman would find that to be the most rational decision of her life, so as to protect not just herself but the child too from bringing it to the world. So these are the freaking variables that I also consider and I'm empathetic about, which like probably pro-life people would like find horrendous.
Well, my point is if you are pro-abortion and you're an atheist and you're a liberal Democrat socialist and you're a scientist, that's the problem, because it's deicide. If it takes a whole universe to make a baby, that means every baby you kill in utero is like executing Jesus over again on the cross. So if we were to tackle the problem of human conflict at the root, it would be, the fact that we have industrialized abortion and we have industrialized the military industrial complex. So it's just an overall killing field. And, that's what it is today, whether you get vaccinated or decapitated. A vaccine death is actually just a late term abortion. And war is just a late term abortion. So, welcome to the abortion industrial complex. From uterus to battlefield to urban warfare. It's all just a late term abortion. And then you have all these people on here who can't shut up and just want to talk over each other and get their little dopamine rushes in their pathetic little apartments and scream genocide, occupation, but they're not screaming obey the law, come into compliance, obey the law, study the law, know the law, be smart about the law. Sometimes you'll hear them say that, but not often. Mostly it's just like political jingoisms and propaganda. And, that's cool, but I hope people don't get angry at me when I record them and send it to the FBI for some FBI analyst,
It happens on both sides if you want to be objective about it and fair. And I mean, there are amongst us humans those who are humanitarian who'll call out for just the act of it being wrong in humanity, like adding moral value to episodes that happen, the events that are taking place. So I would say it is as wrong as to kill like one human, innocent human, unjustly, no matter what the criteria, right? Or whatever, 1 million population. So do you not see where these people are coming from?
Well, I look at it from the perspective of me and my survival. If you're going to kill me, I hope to kill you first. And every soldier that, you listened to me read a lot yesterday about a martyr's death. Do you remember that part? You were sending me the cry emojis.
Yeah, that was really nice. Very well.
So I see the truth on both sides. I mean, I can actually, if I use my imagination enough, I can view myself, on the other side of the fence, fighting for survival over there. They encountered a Leviathan, and I don't. They're sitting here on Clown House talking about risk analysis, and they're like, "You don't think that the Hamas leadership ran on a risk analysis prior to October?" It's like, no, I don't think they did. And they're like, "Of course they did." And there are professional soldiers, that work in the Russian government, the American government, the Iranian government, who have been studying warfare and trying to gather as much information as possible about how to run a war and how to fight, with intelligence. And I've got countless books, field manuals that soldiers from every war have spent their time writing after they engaged in a war. And guess what? Young officers study these field manuals so they know how to survive the war and, get the political outcome and the victory that they want to achieve. So I'm just saying that these rooms are pointless, and the Free Palestine rooms are nothing more than Barth and Daniel running the same script every single time. And I called him out on it today. And Daniel's like, "You're a fucking loser. You're like a disabled fucking veteran. Fuck you." Like, I've seen Daniel Nero's photo. He's disgusting. He looks like he just came out of a catacomb tomb. Like he's like his liver and his skin is yellow and he's all dusty and nasty and he's like hugging that older guy. And I'm like, bro, go to the gym, take a shower. Don't criticize me. You and Barth are crazy. Barth is sitting there working, putting nails in 2x4s, and Daniel is sitting in his apartment, and they're sitting there just having being cats with these Muslim balls, and they're just sitting there playing with these Muslim balls all day long. And I'm like, to what end, guys? Try to create something that lasts a little bit, at least for more than a few hours, and then disappears. Do some, higher.
I mean, you're a guy that talks about poetry. I mean, you don't think it's poetic in some way that people can find solidarity and something like that? These people are my playthings. I jump on here for a day. Here's my buddy Danielle on Megatron. And this is what we're doing, and we find solidarity in doing that, and it passes the time. I mean, I don't know them personally. I don't know. You don't think that's poetic in a way?
It's a need for human communication, and that there is poetry.
Right, exactly. And I mean, is there something inherently wrong with that?
No, there's not. But you got to understand, my point is that it's still within my opportunity, right, or decision to criticize it and critique it, to film it and record it. But if somebody wants to attack me in the brief moment that they have to talk to me,
I would ask you, why are you doing that?
Because it's artwork.
Are you making money doing it?
Do artists do all artwork to make money, or do some artists do art to make art? Isn't that the point we just said?
So you're an artist. I mean, what is this, performance art or something?
It's video art. I'm a video artist. I have hundreds of thousands of videos up on the internet. Okay. It's conditioning. It's conditioning and suggestion. If you just Google John Kitover,
are you planning on taking this and chopping it up and making an Aqua Teen Hunger Force type of cheap illustrated cartoon to like throw some adult humor in there or something? Is it like that, or is it just I just record you and then just put it on the internet?
That would be considered art. Yeah, I would love that art. That would be great for me.
Well, hang on, John. Hang on.
Go ahead, Dennis.
The thing is, all communications hypnosis. Rico, the sooner that you realize that, the better off you'll be.
Wow. How has that statement changed your life in the few years that you've known me, Dennis?
It's just profoundly made a positive impact in the way that I view the world and communicate with others, not only in my personal life, but my professional life. Coach John, through thick and thin, has been an excellent source of guidance and wisdom. And
who's Coach John?
Me. He calls me Coach John. But look at his PTR. I was laughing. I was looking at that PTR. That's so fucking funny. That would be cool. That would be a lot of fun to try. Anyways, Regal, back to the artwork. The point is, you're just a critic. You know, until you can tell me your legal name and say, hey, check out my artwork, you know, then we could talk. But you're just not on my level, Regal. And I hope you know that I'm just a fisherman and I'm a spider. And you're just my fly or my fish.
I don't typically come on here and tell people that like I know how to paint. I actually have paintings in my phone. I can put them up as my PTR. I also play music, but I don't feel the need to sit there and say, well, I'm extremely distinguished between the average person here on Clubhouse because, you know, I feel the need to compare myself to other people.
The Regal, that's part of the joke. That's part of the joke that people see. Didn't you just hear what Dennis said, that all communication is hypnosis? So if I'm insulting to people,
saying that all communication is like spell casting, and I can cast a spell on you with my words and control you. That's not true.
No, that is true. If I were to insult you right now, or if you were to go into a room and you were to hear other people insulting each other, some people's feelings get hurt.
Do you know what begging the question is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just begging the question.
Okay. Well, all communication is conditioning, and all communication is projection. And so when you say, do you know what begging the question is? That's literally saying that's begging the question.
Before you further along yourself here, right, I'm just going to ask you, how do you know that?
Well, let me ask you this. You're not a moderator. So
now
go ahead.
A tu quoque, right? So that's a tu quoque.
A tu quoque.
Now that's part of the other reason why I do get on here on occasion. It's not to distinguish myself or to be better than other people or to prove how much of a musician I am or am not. On occasion, I like to test my knowledge. I like to compare ideas, and I like to listen to people.
I'm gonna give you 60 seconds, Regal. Go ahead.
I'm back to you.
Okay, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. I hope we can go in 60-second intervals here. Narges, Dennis, is there anything else you'd like to contribute to call the FBI in Los Angeles report Amir the terrorist?
I think he has a freedom of expression. That's what he's going to come back with. Like, I can criticize things that are happening around the world because I'm allowed to. I'm an American, and therefore I can. So that would be his comeback.
So I would just like to maybe prove a point. You know, Regal, do you suffer from any mental health issues? Is there anything behind the phone that we're dealing with that we're unaware of?
I mean, if I answer your question with a question and ask you if you have any mental health issues, what are you going to say?
Well, I asked you first, and so if you don't want to answer the question and you want to answer it with a question, that's entirely up to you. But again, the subject of this room.
You did that, but did you notice you did that earlier? And that was very disrespectful of you. And I asked you, how do you know that? And you never explained it. So before you, again,
okay, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Go ahead.
Then I would like you to explain how it is that you know what you know.
So you want me to explain to you what I know. And, you know, I would just ask you Do you believe that those who say they know do not know, and those who know do not say, as it says in Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching, the Book of Changes? Well, we're getting to the transition point of my room creation here, and I want to thank all the participants.
Honestly, man, I think that you're a very likable person. You seem like you have a personality, and you're actually quite funny at times. I do respect your opinion. I mean, I kind of see some of what you're saying in Clubhouse, and at the same time, it's not so much what you're making it out to be, And I mean, I don't see what these cope rooms are about. Like, I notice people do that on here a lot. Like, they'll interact with somebody else on here or get into a discussion with another interlocutor, and then they open up a room, and this is like their cope session after wasting their time. And then, it's like, well, you're sitting here criticizing everyone else on here and you're doing the same thing. But as you're sitting here doing the same thing, you're kind of like distinguishing yourself as like some sort of an artist. So you get to put yourself in the judge's seat and make judgments about everybody else. I mean, does that all apply to you?
Okay, I'm past the question and answer stage of my room creation here. I apologize. But if there's anything else you'd like to say prior to the poem that I'm about to read, go ahead and say it now. Thank you very little.
He's evading. He's evading. Don't get over.
No, it's okay.
Doctor is evading.
It's not evading. There are times, Narjas.
How did you even get it?
There are times when I just will not entertain questions because, the truth is I don't have to entertain every question that comes my way. And I just feel like
these are
it's very compulsive.
That he's asking you.
It doesn't. Well, go ahead. You can answer it if you want. But, I would.
They're subject to you.
Okay, well, let me just ask. Go ahead and just summarize the question. I will quickly answer for you. And then I will give you 60-second follow-up. But then I'm going to read a poem. Go ahead.
All right, let's start off with something really easy. How the heck did you get a picture of Daniel, and how did he get a picture of you? Like, you guys must have been close at some point. Like, how did you guys get into?
He posted a picture of himself with some guy that he was talking about, and I took a screenshot of it. What do you mean?
Why would you do that?
Why would I take a screenshot of him looking like a stinky fart? So I can always remember that he's a stinky fart. What do you mean? He's disgusting.
Why would you need to take a photograph of that in order to, remember that? I don't get it.
Because on my phone, I screenshot everything. I'm very compulsive about screenshots. Does that answer your question?
And how is that art? Are you planning on making a collage with it or something?
Maybe. Okay, last question. Then I'll give you a 60-second
follow-up.
follow-up.
Can I ask you a question? So you have asked me included in your PTR, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't there for half the room because I forgot it was around the phone, and I wasn't even listening to it. So how do you see those who are mods, whatever, and are not true participants because they're just not around? Would you attribute the entire freaking? How does the human psyche work? In your head, are you thinking, okay, this person is also participating in the conversation or is listening in?
No, I don't carry anything with me that far. That's crazy. This is one of the reasons why it's easier just to record these rooms, because a lot of people will carry people to 3 rooms from now, 10 rooms from now. I just want to refresh every morning when I wake up, and so it's very easy to just record these rooms, call it art, which technically it is, because there's a lot of art involved in this. The art of even setting all this up, even coming to this, because most people are only operating with one phone, and that's all they got. And, anyways, the thing is consistency on these rooms. I want to record consistent rooms and consistent speakers, because technically the people who speak the most are the most sociopathic amongst us. And this app is a perfect place to do observation of the human personality and psychological and character, so it's fucking awesome in my opinion. X isn't even close to as good as this, because this is a much closer community, and the platform itself is better than X. So to me, most organizations are missing out on this opportunity to test communication here. It's instantaneous feedback on whatever concept your organization is considering putting out. So it's really an awesome, powerful tool. And look at the room we're in right now. I got in another room in my house. I got 6 phones pointed at Amir's room, recording it and live streaming it onto YouTube. And people all around the world are commenting on it. And I hope they never stop. And what's crazy to me is, like,
not many people watch your videos, to be honest.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. The thing is, it's all practice leading up to a big breakthrough. But the cool thing is, and which is unbelievable to me, is like, I get notifications from YouTube saying, hey, your video has been removed because it violates our hate speech policy. And then I go and I look to see what the violation is, and then I play it, and then I appeal it. And then somebody in the Philippines watches it, and they go, yep, this was not hate speech violation. I will make the video public again, and you do not have community guidelines, right? And so how in the world can their algorithm, because it's totally subjective. Like, to me, if I hear somebody saying stuff, I'd be like, yeah, that could be like, that's possible terrorist and hate speech. But like, how does that YouTube algorithm not think that all the shit it's hearing is not hate speech? You see my point? Like, how the fuck is it not calling it all hate speech? It's because the algorithm is biased for preference and race and ethnicity and geographic. Like, how the fuck can the algorithm know that? It's unbelievable. So it's totally biased. And as a white heterosexual Christian American male, I'm just wondering, how does it know what I'm saying, is considered hate speech or not hate speech? Because clearly, almost like 99.9% of everything I say is not hate speech. But how in the world, like, what are the words? What are the phrases? What's the intonations? Like, what kind of voodoo do I do, to trigger it? But like, if I can record Amir's room and it's a complainium of people hating on the Israelis and the Zionists and the Jews and the Ashkenazi causers and all this shit, like, how the fuck does it not label that? So, censorship is real, because the problem with the radical, mind is that it just knows no limits. And we have to focus our minds. And those types of rooms, in my opinion, are indicative of people who don't know how to meditate, don't know how to control their bubble, and they are a victim of chance and fortune, as opposed to, getting ahead of it and being a little quicker and being able to modify their destiny.
That's why I asked you, like, how do you know that? Because a lot of these people sit here and they'll either get into rhetoric, or they'll read up something, or they'll try to find an article, or they'll ask you to cite a source. I mean, even though their mind's not clear, constantly meditating on this proposition you want to prove to be true, and then present your case and evidence for it. I mean, it's actually thrilling to get the chance and opportunity to test your intellect against other people. I think a lot of Democrats and Republicans, for an example, want to be able to debate themselves in spaces like this to test their knowledge and see what works and what doesn't. I just think perhaps people get a little too ahead of themselves and they buckle down a little too hard, and they have a bias, and some people get tunnel vision and they get kind of stuck in bad habits. I'll watch philosophers do this all the time. Good philosophers, there's better philosophers than me, but I can point out flaws in their logic or issues, and they'll just be perplexed, and it just boils down to personal incredulity. I don't want to believe that because my feelings won't allow me to.
Yeah, I have seen that. But you can reach a state of mind where you can totally drop that sort of personal, I mean, not totally, but to a large extent. And I think that's what I do in these rooms. Like, I can truly look at it from, if I get into the mode, I can see the whole thing quite unbiased. However, if I go into like the Iranian rooms, something in me like brings up memories of, I don't know, childhood. Like there's some connection there where I know I am not being completely unbiased. That's why I don't speak in those rooms. But when I know that I'm ready to be unbiased or objective, then yeah, no matter what the room title is or no matter how heated the conversation is, I think I try to insert objectivity into spaces so that truth can be, found no matter what the conversation is. It's almost like a reflex knee-jerk reaction for me. It's like, look at the other side too. And then in some spaces I'll get like confrontation. Like, oh wow, you're not on our side. And that's fine. I don't have to be on your side.
Well, I thought the whole point of like religion or let's say politics or anything that's like dealing with some, human, like whatever the case may be, it's like people are trying to come together and figure these things out. And that's kind of the point of it, to suspend.
They're not regal. They're not. They're coming to be biased. They're assholes. Like, it's really sick. They just hold one opinion. Very few of us, I think, on this app actually want to philosophize or be objective about the world. No matter what the topic is.
Well, it's not just about being objective.
I can agree to that. I mean, a lot of times, like, that's why I often don't start with. That's why I'll just grant somebody their presuppositions and say, well, I'll grant it. Fuck it, and now let's see how it aligns up with my worldview and how you account from there. And it's just okay. I have no realistic reason to take what you believe seriously, and I debate more atheists on here than anything else, and they don't believe in anything. So it's like, I want a right to do this. I want rights, and then I ask them,
God, I'm not doing this.
Where do your rights come from?
Human God.
Okay, fine. You don't believe in anything, so why should I believe you? And you literally interdepend on the benevolence, and let's be real here, of religious people who actually have metaphysics. I mean, they can sit there and scrutinize Muslims all day.
This is why I indulge in physics with you, because they won't even take the time to.
Wait, you know physics? You know physics? Give me the equation for velocity.
Not physics, metaphysics.
Oh, well, physics is like metaphysics, and metaphysics is like physics.
No, there are things that undergird like metaphysics that are like purely conceptual that we can't even let's say test for.
Well,
it's just something that's assumed.
Well, is it the theory of gravity or is it the law of gravity?
Well, you can get to the theory or the law if you're not even going to talk about what logic is first and the law of non-contradiction and identity and excluded no.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to have that first.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming to this room. This is Call the FBI in Los Angeles and report Amir the car rental, a piece of shit terrorist, to the FBI. We're going to now transition to the musical component of this room. Feel free to leave if it becomes too annoying. And I also, do believe that a lot of people have attention deficit disorder on this app, and they really want their dopamine bad. But you've got two ears and one mouth, and that's really because you should probably listen twice as much as you speak. If you actually do that, you'll realize the truth of the earth. And the truth of the word earth is the first three letters are ear. And you've got two of those. So it doesn't mean you got two earths. It means you got two ears to listen. And people on this app really love that dopamine. And it turns out that the more you love creating dopamine by talking endlessly, there's a very high correlation chance that you might actually be a dope. Not necessarily a dope head, but a dope. Not stupid, but a fool. Because I know nobody is stupid if you can read. And somebody on YouTube just wrote, Woke Suwajsiki, your CEO is the mother of YouTube algorithms. Not sure what that means. Anyways, let's get to the musical portion. We're going to play the Chinese flute. And then I'm going to read a quick little poem and go hop in the hot tub with Pamela Anderson. And she's only when she was 26. Here we go. Never had one lesson. We cleared the room. We cleaned the house. Oy vey, Rabbono Shalom. Another Shabbos miracle. Oy vey.
Are you prepared to say that anyone who is still pro-Hamas Palestine is therefore in the same boat as me and a genocide supporter? And if not, why not? Because it's the exact same situation.
Okay. I'm potentially prepared to say that, provided you say the same.
Okay, I'll say the same.
Okay, then we agree. So
okay. So then, what do you say to the people who are pro-Hamas and Palestine in order to convince them to not have these views anymore?
It's a loaded question.
Well, they're clearly the wrong views.
You deserve better leadership. That's number one.
I agree.
Number two. I wish that Netanyahu didn't allow the flow of $1 billion+ to this leadership. Number three. Unfortunately, let's look within your own societies, band together. Netanyahu and the Likud party's plan has always been, as stated in their charter, to prevent the formation of a Palestinian